Hello, and welcome to another installment of Dan's Objects of Interest. And this time we have some POGs. Remember POGs? Well, they're back in Objects of Interest form. So POGs hit at least my area right when I was in 6th grade. 1994 to 95 was, I believe, my 6th grade school year. And they were huge. They were everywhere for that whole school year. And then they just completely went away after that and seemed to have no further cultural resonance in any subsequent years. Not too long ago, a few years ago, I was trying to explain POGs to someone who was about a decade younger than I am, and finally the conclusion they came to was just, so they're just little circles? And I guess at the end of the day, that's exactly what they are. They are indeed just little circles. But I have to say, even though they just kind of disappeared from the pop cultural map, I always kind of had a thing for POGs. I enjoyed them as collectibles, especially. The game itself was reasonably fun. I just think they're neat. For those who aren't familiar with the game, basically you take a stack of POGs, which are they were originally milk caps. POG itself actually stands for passion fruit orange guava, which was the original juice that the caps in question came from in Hawaii. And it's a fairly old game. I think it goes back to like the maybe 30s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in that range of decades. But yeah, they were turned into collectibles in the early 90s, and for about a year, 1994 to 95 or so, again, right when I was in 6th grade, they were huge, and everything had POGs. There were Simpsons POGs, indeed. Before Alf had POGs on The Simpsons did have their own POGs. I still have some of them. You would get them as like giveaways. I have some Ziploc bag POGs that had a mascot that was like a finger with a smiley face drawn on it at the time. They have that on it. There were also lots of off-brand POGs. These are new old stock packs of official POGs, those made by the World POG Federation, which shockingly existed. But there were also off-brand ones. There were Slammer Whammers. There were all kinds of them. There were some that had no listed company at all, that you could find for like a quarter or less in like a big jar in the drugstore. That's where I got a lot of the off-brand ones. And basically, anyway, you make a stack of them, and then you slam a slammer, or a kini, as the World POG Federation called them, which was a thicker POG, usually made of plastic, but you could also get metal ones, which were kind of unfair, actually. You could even make slammers by gluing some POGs together to turn them into a sort of ad hoc slammer. And basically, any POGs that flip face up after you hit the stack with the slammer, you get to keep. And then, of course, play passes to the next player. Whoever has the most wins. The official rules had you playing for keeps, so each player would put an even number of POGs into the stack, and whichever ones you flip over, you get to keep. You didn't have to do that. You could just use POGs from one player's stock and leave it at that. I play for keeps because I might not make it back. No, actually, I very rarely played for keeps because I wanted to keep the ones I had. Again, I like them as collectibles probably even more than I like the game itself. And I do have all of my POGs, so I think this is actually going to be a part 1. I think my next video is actually going to be kind of a reminiscence of going through my box of old POGs, the ones I had back in 6th grade, which I still have now. But again, I've recently come into this set of 4 new old stock POGs, so we'll open these up and see what they're like. I don't know which specific range of designs these are, but again, these are official World POG Federation POGs. So these are the regulation ones. Beware of imitations. We all had imitation ones. This is their little mascot guy, who was kind of like a sort of an unholy union between the Chester Cheetah from Cheetos and Captain Caveman. I think he was just called Pogman, if I remember right. But we'll probably see him on a lot of the Pogs in these packs. 1994 is the date, of course. Look for the official World Pog Federation logo on all authentic Pog products. Your assurance of quality, value, and collectability. That value's not going to be holding up too long. Made and distributed in Australia by Crown and Andrews. That's interesting. I wonder if these packs actually came from Australia originally. Well, anyway, let's pop some of these open and again check them out. These apparently pretty small packs actually. Just 4 Pogs inside and then an official WPF Kinney. And the ones that came in these packs, the slammers or Kinneys that came in these packs, were usually like extremely thin plastic ones that you really couldn't knock anything. You couldn't flip any over with them to begin with. They were not good ones. Anyway, try not to cut anything here. Scissor. And yeah, there we go. Into the first one. So seeing the light of day for the first time since 1994. Well, there's the slammer. Here is the rule card. I kind of forgot about these. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you can take a look at it. Freeze frame and read it if you want. There's a Pogman again, and this pose for Pogman again, he looks like kind of an unholy, I called him the unholy union of Captain Caveman and Chester Cheetah. This pose he's in is pretty clearly a knockoff of a production art of Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy, interestingly. So we have a checklist. 16 Kinneys in ass colors. There you go. I know it means assorted. But yeah, a lot of these just feature Pogman or the World Pog Federation logo, it looks like. Just looking at the checklist there. Beware of imitations. They really wanted to keep you away from those cheap off-brand ones. But again, we all had tons of those anyway. There were also classic Pogs that were official, and there were also unofficial versions of these, but they were actually a little more like the original milk caps. They had the little sort of line in them that was supposed to represent the spout, and they usually had a staple in them that would actually make them easier to flip over during gameplay. But here we go. So we have a skull that says either God or Pog. I am assuming it's Pog. But yeah, kind of a generic design. This is actually the kind of design you would see on a lot of those off-brand ones. The official Pogs usually did have some variation of this backing. Although I don't remember this company logo. Again, they seem to be the distributors for the Australian market, which it seems this is where these, that's where these Pogs came from. But yeah, I haven't come across that, so that must be a special thing for that market. Anyway, there is Pogman as a kind of a superhero of sorts. That's number 27. They were pushing them as collectibles. They had collector numbers and stuff. They even had price guides. I think I might even still have one of those, like, price guide magazines. This one I've seen before, and this one I have at least one of this, I think. But it actually has, like, a holographic, like a foil effect on it, the other one I have. This one is the non-foil version, apparently. But yeah, just a logo with Pogman. There's the evil smiley face. This looks very familiar too. I think I might have at least one of this one somewhere already. And we actually didn't look at the slammer yet. So, ooh, that's a pretty nice foil effect. Duck Cruncher. I kind of like that design, but again, these really thin plastic slammers, you didn't want to play with these. You couldn't flip anything with them. Observe. Granted, that's too small a stack anyway, but yeah. All right, so there's the first pack. I guess for now we'll just put these back inside their wrapper, which I proceeded to drop on the floor. All right, so we'll open up another one here. Let's see what we get. So there's the rule card, same as the other one. All right, so here are our first two. Oh, we do have a foil effect on this one. I think I do have one of this one already too. The World Pog Federation logo with Pogman doing something unholy to it, it looks like. Yeah, again, very familiar looking. I think I might have one of this somewhere. We have Jurassic Pog. So, tapping into that popular culture of the early to mid 90s, for sure there. Alright, what else? We have Mooncrawler, some kind of weird lizard. Apparently by an artist named Big Deal. I'm guessing that's what that means. And then we have another flaming skull here. And we have another slammer of Doc Cruncher, this time with a kind of a gold foil effect. This one's actually easier to see the design on. I kind of like that one better. Again, kind of useless for gameplay, but be that as it may. All right, so we're halfway done. Here is pack number 3. So rule card, same as before. All right, so here's the Pogs. There we have Pogman as some sort of low-rent Mickey Mouse tunes. That one I've not seen before. That's a new one to me. There's actually, I think, our first repeat. This one might have a little bit more of a gold in the foil effect, but yeah, it's the same one. We have a laughing shark, who's apparently laughing like Beavis. And we have 2 of the same one in the same pack. I mean, I expected to get some repeats, you know, between the 4 packs, but yeah, 2 in the same pack. Come on. Step up your game, World Pog Federation, that hasn't existed in 20 plus years. And we have the Atomic Bomber Slammer with the gold foil, like the second Doc Cruncher. Yeah, it's all right. One more. Yeah, I think this last one I'll not cut with the scissors. I'll try to open this one up manually just to keep one of them in decent shape. Because, you know, these are really worth a lot of money nowadays, let me tell you. It's huge, huge collector market for Pogs. There's no collector market for Pogs. All right, rule card. One more, same as before. We have that one with a foil effect. Again, I think this might be the version of this one I already have. We have the Big Dog, also by Big Deal. We have actually another, that is a different one actually, never mind. Yeah, different foil, Pog logo with Pogman reclining in front of it. And then we have another skull. Oh, that's kind of cool. The kind of foil effect on the one tooth. That's kind of a neat design, actually. Yeah, that's all right. And then we have the Slammer, which is, I think I have probably a couple of this one. The World Pog Federation logo. Ooh, lens flare. Yeah, the World Pog Federation logo with the flower in the middle. Kind of a Hawaiian motif, going back to the game's roots. So there you have it. Let me actually, I'll pull these back out of the packs. They don't need to be kept together, I don't think. Yeah, let's stack a bunch of these up and slam them for old time's sake. See if we can get anything out of, I think I'll actually use the gold Doc Cruncher slammer here. So here we go. And see if I remember how to do this. I remember you could also like do that. That was a complete mess. And the slammer went on the floor, and one of my cats is smelling it, so I'll just use this one. Yeah, see, these light slammers are pretty well useless. One more try. Nope, that missed. One more try. That actually hits it. Yeah. I had a, I'll show it in the next video, I'm sure. I had a metal slammer that I actually found on the playground in 6th grade. It was a metal slammer with like a sticker of a lion on it, and it was just completely unfair to play with because it just like wiped out entire stacks. It was so heavy. These things, yeah, you can't get much out of these. Anyway, that's some POGs. Seeing the light of day for the first time since 1994, apparently, and apparently having traveled here all the way from the Australian market. So we have freed them from their prisons. So, yeah, there you have it. Again, I'm going to probably on my weekend, which is to say Monday or Tuesday, I'll do part 2 of this, which will be kind of a reminiscence looking through my actual childhood collection of POGs. So, there you go. We'll see you soon.